I'm your host, Lydia, and this is Too Proud to Rock, the challenge series where we dive into how the world's biggest bands reinvented themselves when everyone said they were done.
Today's topic, the Rolling Stones. Well, they practically wrote the playbook on reinvention, didn't they? I mean, we're talking about a band that has seen it all and then some.
Today's episode is titled The Rolling Stones Ain't Too Proud to Rock and Roll, and we're setting our dials back to 1974. The mood, John, is chaos. The mission, prove they're still kings of rock. We're going to find out how the Stones turned what many saw as disaster into defiance, and why that moment, that album, still resonates so powerfully 50 years later.
If you look at the early 70s for the Stones, it was a really rough patch. I mean, truly running on fumes. Altamont was this huge, dark cloud that just wouldn't dissipate, hanging over their entire reputation. And then the drugs, well, they were a constant, debilitating presence, slowing everything down.
Then you move into the early 70s, and while they were still putting out incredible music, like Sticky Fingers and Exile on Main Street, the cost was palpable.
It was about proving their relevance, their very right to exist as the greatest rock and roll band in the world.
Suddenly, 3 years after Exile in 74, It's Only Rock and Roll drops, and it's a very different beast. No fancy choirs, no Hollywood horns, none of the opulent arrangements that had started to creep into some of their contemporaries' work, or even their own earlier albums. This was, at its heart, just 5 guys in a Munich basement trying to remember why they loved rock and roll in the first place. It feels like hitting reset on fame itself, doesn't it?
It's like they stripped away all the layers of expectation and celebrity. And that environment, I think, really forced them to get back to basics. To just play, to just be the Stones without all the external noise.
Keith's riffs, suddenly they feel dangerous again. Raw, cutting, full of that signature swagger but with an edge that hadn't been quite as prominent since maybe Beggar's Banquet. And Charlie's tempo shifts, they're just so intricate, so precise yet somehow loose, almost like a heartbeat guiding the whole chaotic symphony.
And then Mick Jagger on this album. He sounds like he just swallowed a shot of whiskey and decided to fight gravity. There's this undeniable hunger, this defiant snarl in his voice that's just irresistible.
And what's fascinating is that this album isn't perfect, not in the polished, pristine sense, and that, John, is exactly why it's magic.